When you're learning animation and it's time to polish your shot, we're told open up the graph editor and clean up your curves, make sure it's all nice. And I think that's really, really bad advice, because why do you have to open up the graph editor at all? You don't, not one single bit. What you should be looking at is the screen in front of you, the animation at hand, and that should influence whether or not the graph editor is even needed. If you're polishing a shot and you're watching your shot and everything looks absolutely amazing, why would you then need to go and open your graph editor and clean any curves? It's irrelevant. And a lot of students worry about that. I get them messaging me saying like, how do you clean up your curves? And they're worried that it's going to change their animation. And they should be worried, because it will change your animation. And you don't need to clean it up. And I've had some students also worry about the timeline, like making sure the timeline is clean. All of these things are irrelevant. What you should be focused on is what's in the screen. The only reason I ever use the graph editor, if something's easier for me to do in the graph editor than what's on the screen in front of me. For example, offsetting some curves. If I want to offset something, I'll open the graph editor, select the keys and just move them, because it's a lot easier for me to do it in the graph editor. So the graph editor is there to support you, but it's not something mandatory that you have to edit at the final stage of your animation. If you see a curve that's off in the viewport, you can go fix it in the graph editor, but you don't go in the graph editor looking for something that's off. I think that's a really bad way to polish, and I think that's where a lot of people get caught up and why they get so stressed out about the graph editor.